This is the second video for the Dance Beat project, and we have already done the audio, and then we have also put in the very ending shot in the V3. And now we're going to add the other clips. And so one of the things I wanted to let you know is there's a reason we're doing what we're doing, and it's to make editing easier, believe it or not. So in this complicated project, we're going to do a lot of different work. And then at the end, we're going to flow the video into the timeline. It's going to be so much easier. So one of the first things that I want to do is I want to go here in the timeline box. And I want to make sure that I can see my video. I'm going to make sure audio 1 is locked and V3 is locked, right? I'm not going to use V3 again. And then I want to make sure I can see V2 and V1. And I want them to be just a little bit smaller so that I can see both of them on here. Okay. So I've got V2 and V1, okay? So right now, I'm going to be working on V1. So I'm going to unlock it. Everything else is locked. But V1 is kind of the middle section, and that's what I'm going to do. I'd like to get my cursor, my playhead, all the way over to the beginning. And of course, I could use this slider. I could just drag it to the beginning. I also could see the whole timeline at once, and that's the slash key. So under delete, under backspace, there's a slash. So click on that, and now I see my whole timeline here, and I can either drag my to the beginning, or I can just click at the beginning, and that's where I'm there. So that way I can see my whole timeline. Okay, my whole all right, so what I'm going to work on right now is I'm going to be working on putting in points, in points, on all of my video that are in my dance bin. Okay, so the way I do that, I basically want to figure out where I'm going to start each of my clips. I don't care so much for this part on where my clips end. So I'm not going to do an out point. I'm only going to do an in point. Okay. So just so I can see these more, I'm going to click on the list view. These are not in alphabetical order. So I'm going to click on name so that they're in alphabetical order. And then I'm going to do the first couple one, and then I'm going to have you do all the rest. So I'm going to do dance. I'm double clicked on this icon next to dance A. And then I'm going to scrub through and say, well, where do I want to start? So I kind of like him twirling here. So I think I'm going to start it there. And so I'm going to just do my I key, I as in, I in. So I'm going to click it, and that's where that one's going to start. Now I'm going to go to Dance AA and double click on that icon. Going to figure out where I want that to start. I want to start just as she's doing that. I'm going to click on I. Now I'm going to do on Dance B. And I'm going to do it kind of like when she does this twirl. So I'm going to do it starting there and I. So I'd like you to go through each and every one of these videos. By the way, this is a good opportunity for you to look at each video. And I'd like you to do an in point, I in, for each of the videos. So pause this instructional video and then go ahead and do that. So I have put my endpoints in, and and I have to be careful to know that there's only a couple seconds that I'm using for each video. So now I need to go into my timeline and put the playhead where I want this middle part to start. So remember, I only have V1 unlocked. Everything else is locked. And then I'm going to count until this fast-paced stuff. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 clips. Okay. So I'm going to highlight my project window, and then I'm going to hit the tilde key. Okay. Now for this, I'd like to go back into icon mode, and I am going to choose 15. Okay. And sometimes I like to start with what I like. I like to have a mix of single people, groups, etc., men, women. But I'm going to hold down my control key, and I'm going to choose 15, and I'm going to choose them in the order that I want to play them. So I'm going to start, so I'm holding down the control key and do this one. Then I'm going to do something that's very different, 2. Then I'm going to do some feet, 3. Then I'm going to do a guy, 4. I'm going to do a girl, 5. I'm going to do 6. I'm going to come down here and do 7. I'm going to do 8. 9, a group. 10, 11, 12. Actually, look up here. It says 13 of 54 items selected. So apparently I didn't know. So I'm going to do 2 more. 1. Then I'm going to do 2. Okay. So it says I have 15 items selected. I'm going to let go of my control key. And I'm going to go over here to clip. And then I'm going down here to automate to sequence. And so here's pretty important. I need to make sure these are correct. Selection order. So ordering, I want it by the way I selected it. I want to click that I'm going to have placement at unnumbered markers. I'm going to use my in-out range. And I'm going to ignore audio because some of my clips have audio in and I don't want them. Then I'm going to press OK. And to get out of this back into normal view, I'm going to press the tilde. And look, they're all here. Okay. And so I can play that and see what it looks like. It's going to be up here. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to show you is that I need to tighten this up. There was some gaps in here. So I'm going to go to the beginning and I'm going to make it much bigger. And I'm going to sort of and see if there's any gaps that I need to tighten. So do you see here? Here's a gap. So I'm going to close that gap, close that gap, and I'm going to go through it carefully and make sure there's no other gaps here. There was another gap right there. And make sure that each of those gaps are closed in. Okay, and I don't have any gaps. Okay. One other thing that I want to show you is that every one of these clips completely fill the screen, and I'm going to show you one that does not. So hold on a second. Let's go to this clip. Okay, so I'm going to look at this clip. This clip is not quite big enough. There's a black bar at the bottom and there's a black bar at the top. So I'm going to click on that clip. Then I'm going to go over here to Effect Controls. Okay. So I have clicked on Dance 11. It said, Dance JJ, and this says Dance JJ. And so I click on Effect Controls. If you can't find that window, you can go into Window, Effect Controls. You can also sometimes this little forward arrow will get you to the Effect Controls. But here I am in Effect Controls. And I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger using scale. So scale, I'm going to hover over this 100. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And when I made it a little bigger, it got rid of the black bar at the bottom. So I'm going to look at each one of my clips and see that it's, make sure that there's no black bars on either side of it. Might be helpful if I see more of this. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to kind of check on each one, make sure that it's where I want it to be. Let me go back. I'm going to look at each one in turn and then make sure that each one fills the screen and that the part that I like to see is in the middle of it. So I'm going to go down there and do that. And the next thing I'm going to do, so once I have this exactly the way I want it, then I am going to lock V1, and then I'm going to go up to V2. So here is video 2. I'm going to unlock it. And this is where I'm going to do my beginning and my end. Come up here. I'm at the very beginning, and I'm going to look at this. And I can see that right here at the beginning, or actually, let me go to the first marker, because remember, I'm not going to have any video until the music starts. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 spaces I need to fill. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here is where the V1 starts. So I need to select 4 clips. So I'm going to go back over here to my bin video, make sure that I am clicked on this box, and then I'm going to press the tilde. And this time I need to click on this. I need to click at the blank space. Right now there's things that are selected and I don't want them selected. So I'm going to come down here, click in this black area and deselect. And so I want to be careful. I'm picking out 4 videos, but I don't want to pick something that I've already used. And all of these are marked and I know which ones I've used. If it has a little blue icon in the lower right-hand side, it means I've already used it. So I don't want to use that one. So here one, it doesn't have a blue icon, so I'm going to click on it. That's going to be my first one. I'm going to hold down the control button, and then I'm going to click on ones that I have not used, 3. And then I'm going to click on ones I have not used. I'm going to do another one up here. 4. Let go of the control, go up to clip, automate to sequence. It should have the same settings that you had before. Make sure if it says audio that it is clicked off, but click it. I'm going to do tilde to go back into normal view. And you can see that I have a little gap here. So I'm going to get in closer so I can see it. And I'm going to close that gap. Okay. And let's watch this video. Okay. That looks very cool. See how one of the videos is definitely not up. So hold on. Okay. So I just want to make sure that every clip is, there's no black box around it. And so I've done the beginning and now I need to do the end. So I'm going to do that backslash under delete and backspace. So I know where my end is. And this is where I'm in video 2. Okay. So right here, let me zoom in. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces I need to fill, and it's going to start here. So I'm starting at that marker, 5 spaces, and I'm going to go back over to my bin video, click on it, tilde, and for some reason that got super big, so I'm going to go down again, and I need to pick 5. And I'm going to hold down control. So I'm going to do 1. Now I'm going to hold down control 2. And I'm looking for ones that I have not used yet. 3. 4. And 5. Okay. Then I'm doing clip, automate to sequence, checking that I have all of my ignores here, right? I want to ignore audio. And then I'm going to hit tilde. And so I have this done, but I need to close one of those gaps. Okay. So now I'm ready to look at my whole thing and see what my whole thing looks like. Okay, so I can watch the whole thing. And then I might need to still do a little color correction, but make sure as you go in that you have everything, everything fills the frame and there's no gaps. And that's the end of this video.